We are live. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. That's our producer, Zach, if you didn't know. But we are live. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Blake Ruffino. This is Are You Serious Sports. We hope that you guys are making it a good one. We know that we are as well. It's been one of those kind of days for me, man. Just been a tough day. You know how sometimes you just have tough days? You know how some days it's just rough, like not shit's going right, and everything you do, everything you turn to, it just turns to shit. That is 1,000% of the kind of day I'm having. So when the LHSAA approves today for high schoolers to be able to make money from their name, image, and likeness, and everybody freaks out, it only pisses me off a little bit more, if I got to be honest with you. Like, I might say some things tonight that I'll ultimately I don't want to say don't believe, but regret, because I'm in one of those kinds of moods. I am. They say when you're in one of those kinds of moods, you probably shouldn't speak. However, I'm doing the complete opposite. I got me ice cold ham and beer, a Catahoula Common, and we're going all in. Because that's just what we do. I don't care about the Rudy Poos. We do, though, have an LSU practice update. Matt Trent from WBRZ will be our guest at 7:30 to tell us what he thinks, to tell us what's going on. But we will start off tonight first with the LHSAA, with the NIL deals, how it affects LSU, and why I support this because of how good it supports LSU in the long run. But Blake, there's no reason a high schooler needs to make any money. So what? He's making $100,000 a year and I make $32,000 How in the world is that even possible, Blake? One guy told me I was a woke piece of crap for even reporting it today, which I don't I don't know why we keep forcing politics into sports, but nevertheless, here we are. All right. So many other things I'm sure we'll talk about, but I'm telling you, I'm spicy. I'm very spicy. LSU versus Mississippi State. Zach said last night that LSU's 13-2 when they can only commit one error or less. 6-7 when they commit two or more. I guess Jay just doesn't, Jay just doesn't know what to do. What in the world? Oh, I was like, what in the world is that stabbing me in the toe? I got on shoes. However, we got a lot to talk about tonight. All right, let's get to a couple of these questions, comments, concerns. Then we will get started. Okay. Ryan Thibodeau says, #Thirsty Thursday. Grab a cold one and drink. I will have one tonight. So good. So good. But it's been one of those kinds of days. My stream's not working. But Nookie, got to tell people to get off the internet around here. I'm telling you, bro, Zach, I'm going to tee off. I told you I probably shouldn't be doing this. I'm going to go off. Nookie says Travinsky behind the LHSAA NIL deal. People are saying, yeah, and the people saying that Hayden Travinsky is the we've talked about this, is the reason why LSU's losing. Not only do you not know baseball, but you look like a damn fool. Hey, Zach, and to all the listeners, who plays second base? Oh, Jordan Thompson. Oh, The guy leading the SEC in errors. Oh, shit. It's Hayden Jervinsky's fault. I'm telling you, bro, if you're not feeling spicy, if you're not wanting to listen to somebody get on one tonight, you don't want to be in here. It's your boy Tree on YouTube says it must be that Rudy Poo LSU media. No, not today. Not today. Just one of those days, man. Kenny Russell says, Blake, how does this LSU help LSU in recruiting? All right, we'll start there. We'll get into the show and we'll start there. Everybody do us a favor, hitting the like and share. So many of them on Facebook and YouTube. Guys, please do us a favor by hitting the like and share. That's all I ask. All I ask. Hit the like button, hit the share. Share to some Facebook groups. We would greatly, greatly appreciate that. Also, we are doing a $500 gift card giveaway. So there's about 250 of you in here currently, okay, trickling in and out. We need more, so share. But we need 250 people to go over to Apple Podcast and rate, review, and subscribe. Rate, review, subscribe. We need 10,000 likes and followers on Facebook. We're 200 away. We need about 1,000, 1,500 on YouTube, and I'm giving somebody $500. It's not too much to ask. Everybody do us a favor. Hit the like button, hit the share it to some Facebook groups. All right. I guess we can pay some bills. So let's do that, Zachy. Let's pay some bills around this thing. None better than our good friends. I'm teeing off, dude. It's over. I'm teeing off. I'm pissed. I'm teeing off. So Rufino's Ranch around the corner. I haven't been this mad in a long time. Spit, cursing, and shit's coming. I mean, it's gonna be flying out here. But we need to pay some bills right after this break. So Zach, let's talk about our good friends over at GM Varno and Sons. BetOnline.ag. With over 65 years of experience, nobody is better equipped to service in your vehicle than GM Varno & Sons. RV repair, big rig overhauls, motorhome chassis, routine maintenance, tire rotations, tire sales. No job is too big or too small over at GM. If you break down on the side of the road in the greater Baton Rouge area, they will come and get you. And the best thing about that is that they can come and get you, and then they can bring your vehicle back to their shop and start the repairs right then. Again, GM Varno & Sons. Go see them over at 2500 Fuller Boulevard. Give them a call at 225-664-9992. 225-664-9992. Tell them your good friend Blake Ruffino sent you on by. It's that time of year again as college basketball takes center stage with the tournament finally upon us. If you're looking to wager this year, BetOnline is the #1 spot for all of your updated odds, info, along with great contests, including the bracket contest where you have a chance to take home the top prize. Head over to the website and use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on that first deposit. Just use the promo code BELIEVE, B-L-E-A-V. That's B-L-E-A-V to get started. BetOnline is your continued source for all your sports wagering needs, including live betting and your favorite Vegas casino games. Again, that's betonline.ag, betonline.ag. All right, let's get this thing rolling, y'all. Let's get this thing rolling, y'all. Holden says, let's get this thing rolling, y'all. Yeah, we can do that. I think we can do that. Lamar Williams, Big Pressure said earlier, no LSU gear. Not tonight, man. Not tonight. I don't want to be representing LSU when I tee off on some hoes. Probably shouldn't have said that. Last time that got me in a lot of trouble. Darn it. Got to be careful. All right. If you missed it today, everybody do us a favor. Hit that like button. Hit the share, bro. Everybody hit the like and share. So if you missed it today, we're not going to be going, we'll see. If you missed it today, the LHSAA passed here comes a mosquito. Dude, I'm telling you, bro, this is one of the worst days of my life, bro. If you missed it today, the LHSAA passed a grievance, or not a grievance, but passed that name, image, and likeness can be is passed to pay high school players or student athletes money for name, image, and likeness. Now, when that was reported today, a lot of people got upset a lot of people got upset. If you missed it and you want to see the anger, go over to our Facebook page, Are You Serious, or AYS Sports Network. Go down to the comments and you will see how mad people are that high school players and athletes can make money from name, image, and likeness. But the funny thing about that, though, is nobody really thinks of how that's going to affect LSU. Nobody asks the question, Blake, how is that going to affect? Like, how is that going to affect the student athlete? Like, we talk so much about the negative. We never talk about the positive, right? Ever. Never. Not once do we ever talk about the positive that can come from any of this. Mosquito. Like, we never talk about that stuff. Why don't we talk about the positives? Are there negatives in everything that we do in life? Yes. There's always negatives in life. Always going to be some issues when you have new legislation or new this or new that. There's always going to be issues, right? Why can't we talk about the positive? So if you're an LSU fan, which most of you are, I would assume, because you're listening to this podcast, you're listening to the show, how does it affect my team? Well, when Johnny 5-star is coming up in high school, what if, just hypothetically, what if that high school student gets an NIL deal from a huge LSU booster? You know, we talk about in recruiting all the time. All the time. This is how the conversation goes, especially when it's revolving recruiting around Texas A&M. You got guys like Lane Kiffin out there. Oh, my God. What about name, image, and likeness? There's not that much money in the state of Mississippi. And then you got the country bumpkins from Mississippi that go over to Starkville. Right down yonder on Chattahoochee. It gets hotter than a hoochie coochie. Ain't no way, man, that these kids need to get paid name, image, and likeness. Monies. You're looking with Jimbo's got more hair on the top of his head, strands of hair on the top of his head, than the boosters that we got over here in Mississippi State. What the hell is that? Ting. That's tobacco spit. We never talk about the positives. It's always the negatives. So when LSU, and it's not really LSU, but when Louisiana goes progressive in something, right? Like when Louisiana's actually a step in front of everybody, everybody's got to freak out. But you and I both know that if little Johnny lived in your house, you wouldn't say two Rudy Poo things. I don't want to hear that you wouldn't take the money because you're a stone cold liar. Liar, liar, pants on fire, like your name's Jim Carrey. And that's the truth. Jordan fades back. Swish. And that's the game. If you ever seen the movie Liar, Liar. So you mean to tell me that there's not going to be an LSU booster that's not going to put the face of a high school recruit or a high school student up on a billboard and hint to him very strongly financially that he should go to the state school? Now, before you freak out and say, well, Blake, it's wrong, you shouldn't be doing that, you're the same people that moan, bitch, complain about what A&M's doing. Sometimes you got to be progressive. Sometimes you got to be the leader in something. For once, Louisiana's the leader. And let me say this too. I am not a fan of Eddie Bonine at all. I am not a fan of LHSAA Director Eddie Bonine. I think that he is one of, if not the worst, to ever do what he's ever done. Ever. He's Rudy Poo. He's horrible. He's horrible at his job. He just is horrible at his job. But at least he's progressive here. Now, I know because I see it in all of my comments, Blake, it's about education. It's about education. You're damn right it's about education. You're damn right it's about education when it comes to high school. Guess what? That's where the parents come involved. That's where the booster or the person who will be paying money for name, image, and likeness cannot do a deal if little Johnny 5-star has 4 D's and an F on his report card. Because newsflash, little Johnny that's got 4 D's and an F is not going to LSU. Hell, he ain't going to college. I don't want to, and the crazy thing is that there's thousands and thousands of kids. Thousands of kids that don't go to school, college. Play ball, don't ever go and play ball to the next level. Those kids probably aren't going to get name, image, and likeness deals. Maybe, but maybe there's a booster, a player, dad on a son's team sponsors the entire team and gives them an NIL deal. Maybe that happens. Who knows? Who knows the possibilities? But from a person who was raised by a single mother in a very poor town, in a very poor parish, in a very poor state, do not talk to me about monies that I can and cannot make. You are not my boss. You are not my daddy. You are not my mama. You are not my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. So you can't tell me what to do, especially when it's legal. But I can go push buggies at Winn-Dixie when I'm in high school. I can go mow grass when I'm in high school, but God forbid if a car lot wants to give me money because I'm a good damn athlete. Sorry you sucked at high school football. Sorry you rode the bench. Sorry you didn't letter when you were in high school, and you can't wear your letterman to the football game because you sucked. Sorry. Sorry. Life's not fair. Life is not fair. I hate that for you. I really do. I don't have a, I feel as if that, we talk about so many things. We talk about, school teacher pay, and we talk about all these different things. How does that affect NIL? What does that have to do with NIL? That is an extracurricular activity. Newsflash, teachers can go do extracurricular activities their damn self. Why can't a teacher do something? God, dog it, this damn mosquito. Pissing me off. This is what kind of day I've had. But why can't they do something? I know teachers, multiple teachers that have jobs outside of teaching. Some of them still sell real estate. Some of them cut grass on the side. Some of them do things during this. Some of them, Blake, they're adults. So what, bro? So what? What does 18 years old have anything to do with it? Let the parents parent. You can't tell me what I can and cannot let my son do. You're not his daddy. You are not his mama. You can't tell him what to do. Doesn't mean I don't want you to tell Benjamin Michael Ruffino if he's acting an ass out there in the streets to stop acting an ass, because I want you to. That poor beautiful baby never is going to act an ass in the streets. But I'm just saying, if he's out of line, set him straight. Set him straight. But don't you tell me what I can and cannot do. This is not the end of high school football as we know it. This is not the end of college football as we know it. Now, here is something interesting. Zach, here is something very interesting. The NCAA in college football has a transfer portal. Now, I know what you're going to say behind this. Well, Blake, the private schools are going to get richer. Richer's going to get richer, Blake. Are they? Because here's what something that LHSAA actually did do. You can't transfer without sitting out. Huh. Interesting. So if you go get Johnny 5-star from Baton Rouge High School, making it all up, he can't go to Catholic without sitting out if he's a senior. He's going to have to sit out. People don't fear what they can't see. Right? They fear what they can see. You know, you don't see the air that you breathe, but you know that it's there. Kind of like how people already are recruiting in high school football, high school sports. It's not act like it's not going on. Hell, Catholic high school got 2 state titles revoked. Did they not? For guess what? Cheating. Their head coach then had to go be a GA assistant, a grad assistant at Louisville. To me, it feels like priorities are separated. Let's get to a couple of these comments. Zach, I don't know what comments to fly in here. I'm ready for a debate though. John says, BS, Blake. I worked my butt off and lettered. Started play both ways. Newsflash. We can all have opinions. I think I can leave the comment up here and tell you exactly what the man thinks. John, it's an opinion in reference to majority of people. If it's not you, then guess what, buddy? It's not you. Lamar says, Sting made a name for himself on a championship team, right? So the deals came. Interesting. Gregory Ford says, how about some sports? Buddy, what do you think that we're talking about? Greg, what do you think that we're talking about, bud? Marvin Mackey says, Blake, you not my daddy. No, you're right. I'm not. Chance Babin says, what's to stop A&M or Saban from doing deals with Louisiana high school kids? There's nothing. Nothing. But you know what they would have to do? They would have to come inside Louisiana to do it. They'd have to come inside Louisiana. Newsflash, Chance. Are you not watching what A&M's doing? I swear to God, if I see this. I mean, what do you think how do you think A&M's getting away with it? How do you think A&M's doing it? You know what? Screw it. No name, image, and likeness deals for guys at LSU. Screw it. Forget it. Who cares? So let's let A&M do it. Let's let all the other schools do it. I'm sorry, guys. This mosquito is driving me up a fucking wall. I told you I'm on one tonight. I'm sorry. Yeah, let's just let A&M get all the best recruits. Let's let Saban come in the state of Louisiana and do it. What's to stop for LSU from being able to do stuff like that? You moan, you moan and you complain. Like, bro, I don't know what to tell you. Ryan Thibodeau says, sports is a job. Education will unlock the door to a career. What if, I'm going to leave that one alone. Jermaine Harris says, can you imagine the help that NIL and helping kids' family needs help? That's something I didn't talk about. He says, wait a minute. Is the whole objective to make money or to help your family? The universities make a boatload of cash. Again, that's what I'm saying. You can't tell a kid what to, you can't, I guess for me, I guess the root of it is this. I don't understand what's the big deal of a high school kid making money. Let me ask this very serious question. What is the problem with a high school kid going on social media saying, hey guys, just went over to Winn-Dixie, used my Winn-Dixie card, and bought groceries? What is the problem with a high school recruit using his social media platform to promote Winn-Dixie. Like, what is the issue with that? Can someone please tell me the issue with that? Is it going to get abused in some areas? Sure. But A&M's coming for your ass. You get that, right? So you don't want to lose to Texas A&M 8-4. You don't want to, you want to get back to the SEC. You want to get back to the SEC championship game. You want to win national titles. You know what you got to do? You got to go play to play the game. You think Saban's not doing it? Sheesh. Come on, bro. What do you think Butterfingers Eli Ricks was thinking in the NIL deal that he got? That's all that you guys tell me in Twitter Spaces, right? Blake, he got a massive NIL deal. That's all you talk about. But yeah, when you're progressive and you're out in front and you want Brian Kelly to win a national title, but you want hands tied behind his back, then what do you expect? I probably should have prefaced this for Matt Trent. Is Matt going to have to go wash himself with holy water? I mean, he's supposed to be coming on now. I mean, in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Ghost, amen. Poor Matt. He's probably in a car somewhere, just leaving practice. Just heard Brian Polian kill it. Probably playing golf somewhere, drinking Mai Tais. He's probably doing something like that. And he's in the stream. He's probably listening to me like, bro, I got to stop coming on Blake's show. He's an idiot. Like, that's probably what he's saying. Okay. Let's get to Matt Trent. Let's get to LSU football practice. So, Blake, all I want you to do is talk sports. Let's get to that crowd. Let's talk some Drake Williams Law Firm, drakewilliamslawfirm.com. Got to talk about my good friend Richie Roche over at Roche's Lawn and Landscape, 225-937-7220. That's 225-937-7220. Landscape, guys, he's going to be at my house next week doing all of our landscaping needs. Me and my wife went through the process with Richie Roche. It was absolutely amazing. Again, call him today at 225-664-9992. That's GM Varno and Sons. So I got the wrong number. Call Richie Roche at Roche's Lawn and Landscape. I told you it's been a day. All right, let's pay some bills. Get to our good friends over the Drake Williams Law Firm and our good friend Carol Falls over at State Farm. Matt Trent on the other side. By the Drake Williams Law Firm, drakewilliamslawfirm.com. Whether you've been injured in an accident, you're preparing for a future with your estate planning, you're getting ready to close in on a real estate deal, or you're about to welcome a new addition through adoption into your family, or you're facing criminal charges, you need very experienced attorneys, and that is what the Drake Williams Law Firm will be able to do for you in navigating the legal system. The door to their cozy office in historic downtown Ponchatoula has been open since 1981. They have helped thousands and thousands of Louisiana families and individuals win cases, close on real estate deals, and regain that peace of mind. Their lawyers over at the Drake Williams Law Firm, Ernie Drake III, Ryan J. Williams, and Summer Vignair, are very determined, compassionate, and dedicated to their craft. It's the Drake Williams Law Firm, drakewilliamslawfirm.com. Give them a call today at 985-386-7600. Tell them your good friend Blake Ruffino at AYS sent you on by. Guys, you might know my good friend Carol Falls and all the great service that he provides over at State Farm. He is your good neighbor after all. But did you know State Farm has surprisingly great rates as well? Along with the great neighbor service, State Farm agent Carol Falls has surprisingly great rates for everyone inside the state of Louisiana. So call him today at 985-395-4300, 985-395-4300 for all of those surprisingly great rates on auto, home, and life insurance needs. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there, and individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to the State Farm underwriting requirements. All right, we got the man, the myth, the legend, Matthew Trent on with us. So, Matt, I got to tell you, which nobody saw off screen because we were doing the commercial break. The most impressive thing that I ever saw, I just witnessed. You were driving and got home quick enough, and then you're here, you're live, you're with us, and per your name, you're also Twitterless. Matt, it's been a week. It's been a day for me. It's been a week for you. But how you doing, my buddy? How you doing, my friend?
I think there's only one appropriate song to sum up this week for me.
Okay.
I'm locked up. They won't let me out. Won't let me out. I'm locked up.
Hey, Akon, the rhythms of Akon, they will be singing in Ancient Babylon when we're dead and gone.
He's so timeless. He has so many songs that fit every scenario. It's so good.
You know what the best part about this is I'm going to clip this and put it on Twitter, and you're not going to be able to see it.
I know. That's why I was like, man, I would really love to promote me going on Blake's show tonight. And then I realized, well, I don't have Twitter, so I guess I'll just do it from afar.
I'd said hashtag free MC Trent 23, but nevertheless, hey, you're going to bounce back better than Muhammad Ali after he fought Sonny Liston. How about that?
I hope so, bro. It's been a rough week. It has been, honestly, though, very refreshing because I don't have to like mindlessly scroll on my phone. I'm actually a productive citizen of society now. It's been great.
Well, I got you something. Give me 2 seconds. I got you a present. You ready? Matthew, guess what? Just came in the mail, fresh out the box.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
New AYS camo hats for Matt Trent, who's been asking for them. What do you think about that, Matt? Does that make you feel better?
I think it's really great when I'm sending all of my hate emails to Twitter support. At least I'll look good.
If you're not, look, if TV is not your place, stand-up comedian is. But I would ask you not to punch Will Smith. Well, you probably would punch Will Smith, but listen.
You know what the funny thing is that I don't know a lot of people know is that you're the reason indirectly that I'm in Twitter jail right now.
Well, we can listen, please. Let's not say that on my platform or what you said. I can't get banned because I've been banned before. It's not fun. Matt Trent from WBRZ is our guest. All right, let's get to it. Matt, Will Campbell's a problem for people, and he's been a problem for people this spring. When you see the big behemoth out there moving individuals bigger than he is, what do you think about Will Campbell so far, the true freshman from Monroe?
I'm going to be totally honest. Every piece of film that I saw of him coming out of Neville, I wasn't really sold because offensive linemen and defensive linemen, they're one of those where you can't really tell how good they are, how skilled they are, because they can get away with so much in high school. Like, you know, as an offensive lineman in high school, like you could get away with a whole lot using bad technique, just overpowering guys that were, you know, a lot smaller than you. So I kind of wait and see with defensive and offensive linemen once they get into practice. And I remember, last Saturday when they let us out there for the entire time, I walked out and they were in the linemen and we're doing one-on-one drills, you know, lining up right across from each other, blow a whistle and just, you know, coming together. And I saw this kid out there just mauling somebody. And I was like, okay, like that looks good. The way he moved, his aggressiveness, you know, his hand placement. And look, I don't know anything about offense.
You're sounding like you've played offensive line.
Well, I was going to say, like, look,
Andrew Whitworth.
I can fake it with the best of them. But what I'm saying is everything looked just technically sound with brute force, you know, behind it. And then I looked at the number and I looked on the roster and I was like, oh my God, that's Will Campbell. And adding even more to that, he was going up against Quincy Wiggins. So you had 2 5-star recruits going face mask to face mask. Quincy won one, Will won one. That was a really good battle. He looks really good, like he does. And I know that not a lot of people are going to go home and get really amped up about offensive line play. You might actually, now that I think about it, if you're an LSU fan.
Oh, I can't say what it does to me, but I can tell you off air.
But not just him. Like, I watched when they did inside run, you know, like if you don't know, that's where you have like a condensed offensive line, like 2 defensive linemen, you have a quarterback and a running back, and you just go right through the line. And look, it was 3-on-2, but still they blocked it really well. There was aggressiveness. I think for me, that's all that I want to see in spring ball going in fall, just aggressiveness on that offensive line. I feel like there were games where the offensive line kind of like waited to get hit in the mouth before they would react and kind of waited for the defense to come to them before they would actually kind of put in, you know, the scheme or the game plan or whatever they were trying to do. But thus far, man, like that offensive line looks like it's making some halfway decent strides.
I got to get this question. I was going to ask you something, but this question's just so darn good from Nookie. He says, I miss Matt getting banned. Is it Hayden Travinsky's fault?
I don't know. So here's the funny thing. And let's just point out the elephant in the room. If you don't know, I grew up an hour from Chapel Hill. So this Monday was pretty hard for me watching the North Carolina Tar Heels blow a 15-point halftime lead and lose to Kansas in the national championship. Now, am I a diehard Carolina fan? No. But I've been to Chapel Hill 100 million times. I grew up a Carolina fan. Like, it was just fun for me. So they lost, and your boy, I'm talking to the fans out there, your boy, our boy, Blake Ruffino, comes in my mentions with a Kirk Cousins gif, like, you like that? You like that? And like of course, like I'm not gonna get upset. I wasn't upset, but I was just like, all right, I'm gonna have a little fun. Blake and I have a very playful, sarcastic banter on Twitter. And I said, Blake, I'm gonna murder you and your entire family and make it look like an accident. Apparently that's frowned upon by Twitter. And I hadn't even pushed tweet on my Twitter account. 2 minutes go by. I can't scroll. Like I'm like the tweets aren't loading. I'm seeing the same 2 or 3 tweets back to back. The funny thing, I don't know if I've told you this. The one tweet that it stuck on was my boss, Michael Cobble. He put a picture of Will Wade on the scorer's table, like this, with his head in his hand. And that one just would not refresh.
Oh my God.
It was karma, providence, coincidence, whatever it is. So I was just like, what is going on? So I was like asking people in the newsroom, like, hey, is everybody's Twitter locked up or down, or is the internet run? They're like, no, like everything's good. Like it's a newsroom. We're running just like, usual. And I check my email and it's like, you've been suspended for Twitter for abusive and violent behavior. And I'm just like, I can't, like, I was just going to go back, delete the tweet, go up on my merry way. Cause apparently that's another way, a quick fix for it, but apparently not. Apparently, they just want to see your boy behind bars. So
we'll send this to Twitter and let them know that we're BFFs. You would be on my MySpace top 4. How about that?
Yeah, and I literally emailed them. I was like, do I cry during this email? Do I like send a video of me crying, begging for my freedom? Is that what I do? I don't know the protocols.
I just started over and let it rock. But what do I know? I'm dumb and from the country, so they tell me. Matt, Chris English says, #Ask Matt, what are your thoughts on the QB battle? Matt, I've tried to limit some of this, but to say that a 65-yard pass when you're getting sacked and the whistle's not blown, maybe not be a 65-yard pass, but nevertheless, what have you seen from the quarterback position so far this spring?
So actually for me is I've been in a battle with myself internally, who I want to be the quarterback versus probably who should and who gives LSU the best chance to win football games.
Right.
So like looking on paper, when things started, I was like, Jane Daniels, like obviously, Miles hasn't played in, a year. He's got a broken arm. His abdomen is healed, but we don't know how that's going to be if he takes a hit. And I was like, okay, so obviously by default, Jaden is the most healthy and the most active. So he's going to start QB1. So then I go out there and I start looking with using my eyes. And I'm like, Miles looks really good. Miles slinging it around. He's lost all of that weight that he put on, when he was hurt. He's slimmed down. He looks good. He's moving well. He's leading the offense. It looks good out there in the field. And I'm like, okay, let's switch. Maybe I'm pro Miles now. Maybe I want Miles to be the quarterback battle. Now, this is not to take anything away from Jaden because he's slinging it. He's running the RPO. I mean, he looks like a Harlem Globetrotter out there some days. He's here and, doing this, running. I mean, he looks really good. And obviously he gives you, if you want to run that type of offense and do that type of schematic stuff, he gives you the best option
Right.
for big plays with his
Mhm.
arm and his legs. Okay.
Mhm.
But then I was like, okay, that's where I am now. Then pro day this week. I don't think I've told you this. Pro day, I go out there and Miles and Jaden are out there throwing to receivers for scouts. If Jaden Daniels weighs 160 pounds, I'll be surprised. I'll be
very
very
little.
surprised.
Yeah, he's little.
And I had seen people on Twitter talk about that, being like, oh, like he's small, he's thin, whatever. And I was like, okay, I've seen him in person. He does. I know he's got pads on, but he looks like a decent sized kid. He's small. He is small. But I was like, okay, that's one of those things where everybody's body. I mean, look at John Trey Kirkland. I mean, John Trey is not small, but when he came in here, I mean, he was a tiny dude. You get into that different strength and conditioning program that LSU's got now. I think he'll probably look a little noticeably different come August, come September. I think.
Let me ask you this, just to add on to that very quickly, very rudely interrupting you. How did they look in the bright lights throwing the football though? Matt, there's all 32 teams are there. That's interesting. How did they look behind all that?
Good. I mean, you can't really say like, oh,
somebody separated themselves, right?
Because those types of drills aren't for them.
Correct.
Those types of drills are for John Trey Kirkland working out at wideout, throwing to Derek Stingley working out. They're supposed to be throwing catchable soft balls. They're not firing 3-yard slants in there, or they're not throwing deep routes that have to be in a Dixie cup with a defender on it. So I'm not going to base anything that they did throwing the football based off a pro day, but physically, yeah, Jaden, he's small. He is small. So I think that's one thing to just kind of keep an eye on. I don't think it's going to take away from anything that he's going to be able to do with this LSU offense. But that was one of the things that I walked out there and I was like, whose baby brother is this? I'm not kidding. He did. He looked, because I'd never seen him. I'd seen Miles 1,000 times in shorts and a T-shirt and all these other guys. But I saw him and I was like, oh, okay. A little smaller. But again, you've got crazy athleticism that he has. You can't tackle what you can't see. So, with his shiftiness, I don't know. Again, that's something to look out for.
You did tell me that you saw him run and get out of the pocket a lot at practice, and it was kind of ungodly at times running away from the defense. What did you see from him when he's in that RPO and he's running the football, he's getting outside the pocket, versus kind of what the offense, Miles kind of struggled, we saw on film, and I think it was the shot that you posted where, where Miles' strength is sitting in the pocket, ripping it. Jaden is getting out of the pocket, rolling and throwing or running. They're completely different quarterbacks. They're honestly, they're yin and yang. They're polar opposites. What did you see from Jaden, though, from the running aspect?
Good, really good. Just from, again, I hate to go all in on a spring practice under a new coaching staff. I really do, because it is, a lot of spring practice is a lot of build up and a lot of rebel rousing to get fans fired.
No.
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 But he looked good. He made it looked like he processes information halfway decent, quickly, throwing the ball, tucking it versus running it. Pulling it versus giving it. That looked really good. He's just so nimble too. I really want to see him. I would love to see him
live in action.
Yeah, in a scrimmage where the pocket collapses and you've got 6 or 7 dudes coming at you. Because just from an athletic standpoint, he looks like he's got some elusiveness there. He really does.
Matt, we do have a lot of questions firing in for you. I'm not going to bring them up. I'm just going to paraphrase them. Another transfer that is really making some waves, and a guy that you called me about was like, bro, I got to tell you about this guy. Greg Brooks has had an interception every day at practice over the first 7 days of practice. is Greg Brooks right now the biggest standout defensively of the new guys? Maybe not the biggest standout, but maybe of the new guys coming in and what he's doing defensively. Would you say he's your biggest standout so far?
One of them, yeah. Because
Okay.
I love corners or like defensive backs where it looks like you've got a window and it looks like there's no one around. And as soon as the ball gets to the receiver, he's like in between the receiver and the ball and he's off, you know? And I saw a ton of those with him, especially on red zone 7-on-7
Right.
Saturday. You know, they would line up and it was, you know, Jaden looking and got his receiver wide open in the flat or, you know, like a hitch or something, wide open, throws it. It's like so quick. You don't even know he was there, you know, and he's got really good instincts. It looks like he's got really good just awareness, which is something you really can't teach. You know, that's a gift, that's God given, but he really does. And he's physical too. Like he's physical.
And you can tell that.
Yeah, and he'll get up there and press coverage and, you know, get in your what and make plays on the deep ball and jump in front of short routes. I mean, he's good, man. He's really good.
A guy that I have on the show a lot, but he's making some waves. A lot of the media have been, you know, talking about him and bringing him on just because what he does in the media is our guy Mike Jones. Brother, he's put on some weight. He looks good. What have you seen from Mike Jones in the leading aspect of this defense?
Number one, I think if the media could give an award for like best interview over the past 2 years, Mike Jones would get it hands down, like unanimous.
Who?
Mike Jones. Side note, I always hate that, like, when we do that joke in press conferences and nobody gets it, and we're like, who? And then, like, the younger college kids are like, Mike Jones, linebacker. I'm just like, no, and I like, we don't have time to explain it. So then I look like a douche where I'm trying to, it's a joke that I enjoy, but can't always get the effort on the back end from everybody else. But anyway.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I think he looks good. I was out. This was 2 practices ago where I really, really got to watch him. He's moving well. Like you said, he's a lot bigger. And I think that if I remember correctly, that was one of the reasons why he transferred from Clemson to LSU, right? Because he wanted to get better at defending the run, playing inside, but still being able to cover the flat, you know, X, Y, and Z. So from all standpoint, physically, it looks like he can do that. We just got to wait and see what it looks like when the pads come on and, you know, in the game action. But I thought he was really good last year when he played, you know, and I don't know what he's told you during y'all's interviews, but I think he was still throughout the season still trying to figure his role, the scheme, and where he fits in, you know, all 3 of those combined, which is a tough thing to do on the fly, you know, especially on a long college football season. But he looks good, looks sturdy. I don't know what he weighs. What does he weigh now?
He's got to be north of 235, or he's got to be right there at it.
It's pretty good.
I mean, his calves are 45 pounds apiece.
That's good.
I mean, he's got his biggest calves I've ever seen on a man.
That's good. That's good.
I mean, I don't mean that the wrong way. I mean, but dude, he's a typical national champion player that picked off Justin Fields in the playoff. That's what the guy looks like, you know, like. But look, I'm biased. Everybody says I'm biased on it because of specific reasons, but it's okay.
But it's hard. But honestly, too, it's hard to say anything negative about Mike Jones because he is such a good kid. Like I've said this before, like Mike Jones could go out and do the most heinous, horrendous act in the middle of the street and have it filmed and he confessed to it. I'd be like, no, he didn't do that. Because he's such a good kid and he's such a great interview. He's very much like John Trey Kirkland. Just got such a positive vibe, and the light that he shines and projects is, you don't get that a whole lot.
I wanted to get to Pro Day with you real quickly, but I want to skip that because we're running a little bit on time here. And I wanted to talk to you about this LSU baseball team. Matt, our good producer, Zach, behind the scenes. Say hello, Zach. There's Zach right there. Say hello, Zach.
Zach.
Now go away.
Hey, okay. That actually just brought me to a great idea. Can we have that button for when Zach Nunez comes on this show?
Well, Zach Nunez can't ever come on this show. He's never been on this show.
Can we? But even when he chimes in, can we just have a button, just like Zach, go away, and then?
Oh yeah, we could do this. Be like, oh no, here comes Zach. Like we could do something like that, or oh no, here comes Zach. Oh no, not that one. Here comes Zach. You know what I mean?
Or just get the Pee Wee Herman theme song. Okay,
we can do that. We can do that. But no, Zach, our producer, had a fantastic stat last night, Matt. LSU is 13-2 when they commit one error or less on the season.
I literally used that exact stat Sunday night on my sportscast. Swear to God. Swear.
Okay.
Swear to the Most High.
So LSU, then is 6-7 when they commit 2 errors or more. 5 of the wins coming in midweek games. So Matt, a guy that played college baseball such as yourself and threw 95, 97, 98 miles an hour like you did, as a pitcher, just as a defensive guy, how frustrating is that? Because Matt, anything that they're doing is just not working in the field. And some people blaming Hayden Travinsky for it. That part I don't understand too. But what's your thoughts on that?
So the crazy part about that is that is a 15-pronged sword, because as a pitcher, especially when you're out there battling and you're trying your absolute hardest to get dudes out, pitching is all about rhythm. Pitching is all about timing. Hitting is all about timing. So when you get out of that rhythm, everything's screwed. Okay. So when you've got a good flow and you're getting ground balls and they keep getting booted, your pitch count's going to go up. You're going to get more tired. It's so many factors that go into it. And I had this conversation like all the time about LSU baseball. They are this close. They are this close. And we talked to Jay yesterday, and he said the same thing. He was like, it's so frustrating because I look out there and there's like 4, maybe 5 first-round picks on that diamond. And there's probably 7 to 8 or 9 top 10-round picks, Like, the dudes are so good. And it's frustrating because this is not stuff that they're going, this little stuff. Fielding a baseball is pretty elementary, and it's not like
5-year-old stuff.
And it's not like their balls are going through the wickets. It's not going between their legs. They're not scared of the ball. They're just like, they just can't field it sometimes. They're snake bit. But when they get that fielding figured out, because I think they're really close. The bullpen has been pretty decent this year. And I think that they've got an order that they like, especially now with the emergence of Grant Taylor, who's like unreal, who's like the smartest kid alive, mind you. We talked to him yesterday. He's got like a 4.0 in finance, and he can do a Rubik's Cube in under 30 seconds. Like, who does that and throws 97? Like
me, but nevertheless.
But yeah, I can't say this enough. They're so close. They're so close.
Do you think that they could take the series against Miss State this weekend? I think that
I would have to see who pitches Sunday.
Grant Taylor or Dutton.
I think I would feel more comfortable with Taylor than Dutton. But because that's what Jay says, like every single time that we've needed to win a game, like in a pressure situation, we've won. Florida, lose on Friday, we win on Saturday, you win. Okay. So it's games like that they continue to win, but also and Jay said, he's like, I'm not ready to announce a pitching rotation because I don't have one outside of Blake Money. So it's just like a fingernail. They're so close.
Last thing I'll say, and I'll let you go because you've been fantastic. Our one of our buddies who's an NFL our MLB scout told me this yesterday. You have 4 first-round picks on that team. K. Doty, who's worked himself into a first-round pick, who is Jeff Kent from the Giants reincarnated. We know about Dylan Cruz. We know about Jacob Berry, and we know about Trey Morgan. Matt, that's almost over half of your lineup every single night that's in a first-round pick, and you're struggling. But that just goes to show you one weak link in the chain could be devastating for you.
Yeah, and I think that's the most frustrating and I was asking Jay about, because he rearranged the lineup against Grambling, and obviously
Cranford started short, right?
Yeah, and obviously, let's be real with ourselves. That's not a great game to get an accurate evaluation of anything new that you want to do. But he did say that, to be a premier team, we're going to need some more athleticism in the lineup, and we're going to need lefties. And that's why Jacob Berry continues to be out there, because Jay Johnson said we're not going to be able to go through SEC play with 5 right-handed hitters. They will get carved every day of the week. And so that's why they're rolling Berry out into the field. At some point, you just got to do it.
We could go on for hours, but I got to let you out of here. Matthew Trent, you cannot follow him on Twitter at MC Trent 23. Hopefully next week, Matt, we can, and it will be glorious the day that we can.
I'm locked up. They won't let me out. They won't. That's the only thing keeping me going right now is that hat. I'll be honest. That looks really good.
I know it does. And you thought that I was going to give you a used one. How dare you? How dare you think I'd give you a used hat?
I would prefer a used one. I would just like to have Blake Ruffino, the essence of him, on me, around me all the time.
Don't you dare tempt me with a good time. Okay. Matthew Trent, WBRZ's on. Matt, thank you so much, my friend. We'll talk to you soon, buddy.
See ya.
All right. Zach, let's call this a night. Let's bring Zachy in here. Zach, what do you think of tonight's show? I kind of got mad, and Matt Trent kind of brought me down, and he calmed me down. What you thinking? Do you think LSU could win the series this weekend against Mississippi State? You're muted. Hold on. Hey, you unmute your mic.
There we go. I do, because as I mentioned the other night, both of these teams are very similar coming into the series, in my opinion. And I think LSU has the tools in order to beat State. As Matt was saying, it seems like they're just a fingernail away. If they can kind of nail down this fielding issue and get it corrected, I mean, LSU's a really hard ball club to beat without the fielding issues. So, in my opinion, yes, I think they can win the series. But I don't want to make a prediction because I honestly have no clue. They could sweep the series, but they could also
make a prediction.
Sweep.
Make a prediction.
All right, I'm gonna say they win the series, but they get 2. They don't get the sweep.
All right, I like it. He's Zach D. Lee. You can follow him on Twitter at ZD Lee at Tigers Avenue Podcast. They'll be going tomorrow as well for their show. I had a rough one today, bro. Didn't even get to talk about Augusta. That's how pissed off I am. So we'll talk about it Saturday and Sunday. Hopefully Tiger Woods wins it all. Guys, my name is Blake Ruffino. That's Zach D. Lee. We'll see you again soon. Y'all have a good night. Peace out, Girl Scouts.